It's your boy Ashman in your brand new video. So today we're going to be talking about CC and the path that it's going to take in the future. So I don't know if you guys know this, but CC is like CC isn't exactly it's most likely not gonna be open anymore. There's still going to be a community, but it's not going to be like closed community as much as it was before. But before I even explain the new system, we're just gonna be talking about CC and like where like things went, like kind of iffy and everything. I don't know like an exact word that comes to my mind when I have to describe CC. CC for the few months that it was active, it was fun. We had our ups and downs, but at the end of the day, we were a community. A lot of people had fun. A lot of us got to meet a bunch of new people and everything. Again, it was like a fun thing that everyone could come together. There was a lot of arguments and everything, but at the end of the day, we realized that if we kept arguing, then things weren't gonna really change for the better. And CC was starting to go forward with like a new change. People were like starting to enjoy it. There were like things like clan tryouts and all that. Again, like CC got a revamp that it really needed, and then like the future was looking bright, right? Then the whole copyright thing happened, which caused so now we can't exactly have 5 great villages. We can't have a Koski anymore, so that means we never even had the chance to go over the Koski arc. We can't have the Jin things anymore. We just can't have like the idea of CC that the developers and the manager Adrite had anymore for it to work and everything, and which is kind of sad to see. But again, the copyright strike came out of nowhere. It's not really something we knew about. And there were talks about reopening CC and or what's it called, just CC be its own thing and letting them still keep having it. But I'm not exactly sure that's gonna happen anymore. CC is most likely going to be shutting down. But don't worry, there's a new system that they brought, which seems a little bit more fun than CC. CC was just really repetitive. There was a lot of complaining. Even though we got past that, there was still a lot of damage done to the community already that I think that people would still complain, and just people were just being entitled, which kind of ruined a lot of fun. What's it called? But yeah, that's why I think CC kind of went wrong at some points. Again, I'll say this again. It did have a bright future. It was eventually going to be open community, but I guess it just wasn't meant to be. And then with the whole copyright strike, that just kind of sealed the fate of CC somewhat, because of everything that happened. And we can't exactly have the 5 main villages. We can't even have the Koski arc and everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it really. CC was a good idea. It was somewhat executed properly, but with the people that came in, and a lot of people left because of supposed bias and all that, and just people didn't feel like their clans were being treated properly. A lot of people quit because they didn't think it was fair and everything. That leaf bias, but again, we're just a lot of argument and toxicity, not just from the middle ranks and LRRs. It was just from the high ranks themselves. It was just a big thing. Yeah, at the end, it started looking proper, and it was starting to people were starting to see, all right, we can work with this, we can have fun with it. But then again, this media came in. But with that being said, right, CC is most likely not gonna come back, because people were demoted from the groups. I mean, we don't even have access to CC. Again, there is a chance it might come back, but I'm 80%, not even, I'm 90% sure that it's not, and they're going on with the new thing, right? Alright, so now that I've talked about CC, let's continue to the next thing, which is the new organizations. So organizations have been here for a while. A lot of people were excited about organizations, but due to time management and just people were more worried about CC than organization, it didn't really have it didn't have the attention that it deserved. That doesn't mean that a lot of the players in in those organizations, they ended up together and made their own little council or some of sorts. Pretty much it was the open community that CC never really had. I know that a lot of people had fun with it and everything. So pretty much organizations were doing well for themselves. Sometimes I would even say they probably did a little bit better than CC in how they handled everything and how the people acted. So with that said in mind, with due to the copyright, we can't have, like I said, they can't have the 5 villages. So the manager, Rel Adra, decided to. There was this new idea introduced, which would become more of a feudal Naruto system. It's not exactly Naruto, but it isn't exactly not Naruto, if you know what I mean. I don't know how to explain it, but so pretty much the system that was introduced is that organizations are going to become a main thing. Instead of 5 villages, they're going to be the 5 great sovereignties. So pretty much there are 5 sovereignties. Those 5 villages became the 5 sovereignties. So that was the Ember sovereignty. So now it used to be Leaf Village, Cloud Village, Mist Village, Sand Village, and Stone Village. But now it's the Ember sovereignty, the Haze sovereignty, the Doom sovereignty, the Nimbus sovereignty, and the Obelisk sovereignty, and everything. So that's a new aspect. And within those sovereignties, there are 6 organizations. So pretty much it's kind of like a land type thing. So meaning the sovereign, which will be for one of the organizations, one of those organizations will become the new sovereign of that land, and that person has has pretty much absolute say in that land. And but the thing is, they don't stay at that as the sovereign forever. They can be challenged by like a rogue organization, or like if that new organization was to go against the sovereign organization, they can challenge them, and just like have wars with each other, and then like whoever wins will eventually become the new sovereign. I like that idea pretty much. And then what's it called? But the main thing is that there will be 5 lands, and then under each of those 5 lands there will be 6. Well, for now it's 6 max. Right now it's capped out at 6. What's it called? It's capped out at 6 organizations, meaning there are more spots. The current CC probably at like 800 people, and eventually it would have risen. But like, if we look at it, 6 organizations per 5 village, which is like 30, and then you do like 30 times, and let's say the max was 150, that's 4,500 people that are currently going to be in that community. So pretty much they are trying their best to bring up a new community that's able to become what CC never had the ability to. And I feel like if it's executed properly, it's going to be amazing, because again, like, the organizations were there and nothing was really done with them. And now that they're going to become a major part of the community, it's very exciting to see. And this gives more people the ability to interact with each other and all that. But let me explain more of the system, right? So we already have like a set of organizations that were picked from like the beginning of the game, right? Some of those will stay, some of those won't, because again, like, they want organizations that are active and are willing to grind the game and all that, willing to play the game as a community and all that, community events and everything. So the organizations that you see that are currently active, those are most likely the ones that are going to become part of that community. But the ones that are not, that have died off and that they don't really do anything for it, they probably would be removed. I know that the cap for the first testing phase of that community, because again, like, they need to have a testing phase to see if it's gonna work. So they're gonna do a max of like 50 people just to start off with, and eventually they will increase it and then make it a big community. I know that a lot of people are like, oh, we didn't even get a chance to play in CC, but this gives you more of a chance, since you have more chances to get into CC with more spots. Oh, well, not CC, more spots into the organization community and everything, and like, it just gives you so much more room to do things, like, instead of just being like shackled by the 5 villages, you have much more room. You can have rogues, you can have neutrals, and like, the war system will be properly used this time, since more people will be able to villages can attack organizations, my bad, I'm still used to calling them villages. Organizations will be able to fight each other for land and stuff. And again, like I said in the preview, earlier in this video, the sovereigns are guaranteed their spot forever if you have good players and you don't like how the sovereign's ruling, or you just want to overthrow people, because why not? You just like to see chaos. Then yeah, you can challenge the sovereign and everything, and then you can challenge other other lands and stuff and all that. But yeah, like, that's pretty much it and all that. with like the interactions between the 5 lands is that like each land, like you will be able to, what's it called, attack other lands except like your own. You can like, what's it called, have internal disputes, or you can have external disputes. Internal disputes would be, the people that you're fighting, the people that are currently in your land or within that sovereignty, or you can fight people from other sovereignty, and eventually they're going to do sovereignty wars, meaning like this land of the sovereignty of Nimbus will fight, the sovereignty of Haze and everything. And there's just a bunch of new ranks and all that. What's it called? I know that before, once that one organization leader is chosen as the as the sovereign organization for that period of time until they get either overthrown or they get rebelled against and all that. I know that what's it called, that sovereignty will have the ability to do a lot of things, like what's it called, I'm pretty sure they can declare wars and all that. And what's it called, each of the organization, like out of the 5 other organizations, they each need to send a representative to become the advisor to the sovereign. So that makes it more fair, so that does give the people a voice, and they can represent their organization well and everything. So pretty much it's just like an idea that allows the original idea of CC be implemented easier, and then it'll just be a lot more fun and kind of like original in a way. It's just like it's like I have a lot of hope for organization. I'm pretty sure that a lot of people do. A lot of people had like some misgivings about it, but once they were talked to, and like they understood the full thing, the idea grew on them and everything. But more information will come out from the manager for Real Azure. Make sure to join the Real Dreams Discord, the Shindo F2 Discord, to keep up with all the information that will be released. And if this information was of any help for you, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys next time.